Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. I am here with Jeff Butler, the owner and creator of Optimum Pest Pros, right here locally owned in Rochester. Jeff, thank you so much for joining me. We are so excited to be collaborating with you for this month's giveaway.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so Jeff, tell us a little bit about yourself and Optimum Pest Pros and how it all began.
Sure. Firstly, thank you, because there's a lot of local and regional and national pest control companies within Rochester that do very good work. So I appreciate that we're the ones that's doing this with you. So I personally have been in pest control for 11 years now. I started Optimum Pest Pros 2 years ago, actually 2 years ago next week.
Okay.
So when I started this company, I just wanted a company that was providing a service I knew I could deliver on, and just stood behind what I promised, which doesn't always seem to be something that people get when they hire somebody. So I wanted to deliver a quality service and have that customer service experience where people just left like, wow, they did a really good job. So I, as I started this company, I wanted to grow quick, and I have. I currently have 3 technicians that work for me. All of them are, fantastic and really represent the company and the image that I want to portray very well.
That's so great. Okay, so talk to me about a day in the life of the company. Like, what exactly do you guys do for people, like homes or businesses, or just kind of tell us a little bit about that?
So I like to think we're a little different just because we do a little bit more than most local companies. I like to have that capability of a bigger company. So we offer residential pest control, commercial pest control, larger things that could be like multifamily housing or landlords with a lot of rental properties. We do food processing as far as like the food that you buy every day at the store. They need pest control, and it's regulated and audited. So we're skilled at doing that as well. We also offer things like yard treatments for mosquitoes, fleas, and ticks. A lot of bat exclusion, bat work, and nuisance wildlife. And then we also offer vegetation management, which kind of coincides with the pest control. The residential side of things, generally on a normal day, what we're going to see are, especially this time of year, bees, ants, spiders, your normal stuff, mice. We get into things like rats and stuff that kind of starts to skeeve people out a little bit, but we do a lot of bed bug work too, which is it's still a big thing. A lot of people always like, wow, do you do a lot of bed bug work? And we do. And a lot of companies do. So it's still kind of an epidemic with bed bugs and things like that. But the more the standard pests that you would think you see around your home on a daily basis are usually what we'll do. So preventative treatments for bees and things like that are our big thing right now that we're doing.
So tell me a little bit about the pest preventative that you guys do.
Okay, so we generally, and I always try to sell something tailored to what they're telling me is the issue. So if it's an insect related issue, I will always propose to do a seasonal service, which I sell one of 2 ways. I sell it as a one-time service with a guarantee through the summer. And that's usually a spray that's done in May or early June. That covers bees, ants, and spiders. And the price I usually give for that service is guaranteed through the entire summer. And it'll usually include the house and outbuildings, sheds on properties and stuff like that. And then the 2-time spray is the other service that we offer. So that's one is where we come in May. We do that same treatment I just explained. It's at a discounted rate because you're taking more than one service, but we come back in September as well and treat for winterizing pests, which is a huge thing as far as stink bugs. Everybody, is always crazy about stink bugs. So stink bugs, cluster flies, ladybugs, box elder bugs, things like that. And then we guarantee that service to the following spring. So if you have any issues, you are covered from what you received back in the fall.
Okay, so stink bugs are literally the bane of my existence right now in my new home.
Yeah.
So when should I call you to do the winterizing for stink bugs?
So if that's your focus, then that really only requires one treatment a year, and that's generally if you're going to hit a certain window, it's end of August to right about mid-September 15th, 20th ish. If you're in that window and you get a good application on the outside of the house, that's stopping that adult bug from trying to work its way in to set a larvae in the house. So if you can stop that adult bug from doing that, there's nothing to wake up in the springtime. So we get people, especially like out in the country, farmhouses, old houses that have just, gaps all over the place and stuff like that. They'll find their way in, feeling their way in through giraffes. So if you get that application on, that really, I've had a lot of people even in old farmhouses that are just like, I can't believe, how little I'm seeing compared to what I was seeing before we had the house treated.
That's so cool. Okay, so you guys really work all year round. There is something to do every month, every season.
Yeah, I get that question a lot. What do you guys do in the winter? Are you guys just hanging out? You do most of your stuff in the summertime. Summer's the busiest for sure, without a doubt. But in the wintertime, I'm trying to keep us busy by generating obviously new commercial work. So restaurants, hotels, things like that, sometimes people see a pest control truck outside of it and assume the worst, but sometimes it's actually a positive thing. Preventative treatment is something that places like that need. So more often than not, if you're seeing that happening, a truck outside of a place like that, they're getting regular pest control to make sure they don't have a problem. So commercial places like that, again, the food processing places, we go after to try to stay busy. And things like cockroaches, bed bugs, mice, that stuff is all interior insect and pest related issues. So as far as outside, they're focused inside. So we're still doing interior treatments for bed bugs to all sorts of different places. A lot of people will call us for mice. Even the nuisance wildlife keeps us pretty busy. A lot of times squirrels and raccoons and things like that like to make home in soffit areas and things like that. So we'll get a lot of calls for that as well throughout the winter to get that stuff out of people's houses.
Very cool. So just not just bugs or insects or bees, but you are also doing the nuisance wildlife. I love that. That's going to be my phrase.
Yeah, it keeps us busy. So, and generally there's a lot of nuisance wildlife companies and there's a lot of pest control companies. And only a certain amount of them really kind of dabble in both.
Okay, very cool. So a lot of people like myself are first-time home buyers. We don't really know anything about getting rid of pests. Right. And so what is the benefit to calling Optimum Pest Pro versus just going to the store and getting like a spray or something?
So a couple different things really. The quality of the product that you're going to get is going to be night and day between any pest professional and something you're going to go buy, at a local hardware store or a national chain. The chemical makeup of the product makes a big difference, as far as residual life, how it takes effect on different bugs and insects and things like that. So the actual quality of the product is a significant difference, but also the person applying it. So every product has a federal label that you have to abide by. And a lot of people don't realize that when they're buying, some sort of a defense spray for their home, they just, take it and start spraying where they fit. And it happens, and one of the products that gets pushed a lot is that diatomaceous earth. And it's a very green product, but, I've seen it used in an abusive way where, you really should be following a label and applying that properly to be safe around yourself and kids and pets. So, everybody has to be licensed in order to apply in New York or work under somebody's license. And that's important because you're getting the training, you're going through the testing that New York State DEC wants you to go through. And you're certified to apply that chemical, and I always say that's a really important thing with price. I get some people that say, are you the cheapest guy around? I'm not, but chemical and pesticide is a very important thing to apply in a home. And you want somebody that knows what they're doing and applying a quality product the smart way. And that's really the approach that we try to take to it. It's not just, hit this real quick, and we try to take our time and examine every scenario and put down the product that's necessary for that scenario.
Right, really getting to the problem and just make sure everyone's safe, like you said, pets and children, and using the right product. Okay, I love it. Okay.
Yeah.
So one thing I really also love about your team, besides the fact that you're locally owned in Rochester and you take care of the things that I literally hate most in the world, but you guys also welcome women into pest control. And honestly, just commending that a lot, because it's not like a female traditional business. So that's just really cool.
But it's getting there. The more like I said, I've been doing this 11 years. Probably the first 6 years, I didn't really know, other than salespeople and stuff like that, I didn't really know any female technicians. But as we progress in society, I'm seeing a lot more women jumping into pest control. So I had the opportunity while growing the company this year to hire a couple females to jump on to our team. Both of them are technicians. One actually handles our social media and things like that. And they've been fantastic. Like, the response I've gotten is, they're educated, they know what they're talking about, they're applying things properly, everything I want in a technician. And I'm really fortunate to be able to say that. So they actually make up 50% of our team. So out of the 3 technicians that I have, 2 of them are female.
I love it. That's so cool. Great.
Yes.
Good for you guys. That's so great. All right, guys, so we are super excited. We are doing a giveaway prize on June 11th, and we're going to get into that, but please make sure to follow the Property Girls team on social media, but also follow Optimum Pest Pros as well. You can find them on Facebook. They are at Optimum Pest Pros, and you can also look at their website, which is www.optimumpestpros.com. And if you're old school and you just want to call somebody, Jeff is available at 585-506-2786.
Correct. And if I may add to that, so the social media technician that I was explaining, her name is Jasmine. You can find her at Jasmine PestPro on Facebook. If you want to add her or follow her, she's always doing videos and things being educational as far as pest control, maybe giving you some tips to avoid pests around the home and things like that. So if you want to follow her as well on Facebook, she's under Jasmine Pest Pro.
I already follow her because, like I said, they are the worst things in the world, and I hate
She's
them.
good at what she does.
She's so good.
Yeah.
Okay, so now about the giveaway, which we are so excited for. So on June 11th, we are going to do a Finger Lakes experience.
Yeah.
So Jeff, tell us a little bit about that, because I know you're just excited as us, and we created this together.
Yeah. So, I wanted to do something different with you guys that, got people out of the house too, because everybody's been kind of jammed up for the last year and stuck in their house. So we're going to do a experience where you go out to dinner and you have the choice to have some gift cards for some local wineries on whether you want to go out to the winery itself and make a day of it, or you can purchase, things online with it. They're going to be gift cards, but we're going to do a gift card to the Rusty Pig, which is a barbecue restaurant in Geneva, New York. Fantastic food if you've never been there. And then we're going to be offering gift cards to, I believe, 3 Brothers Winery and Billsboro Winery.
Perfect. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned for details on how to enter the giveaway June 11th. So put it in your calendars. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a good day.